Nobody wants to hear this. That is the first thing worth saying. Because every version of this information has been available for decades. It has been in books, in articles, in financial advice columns, in school curriculums in some countries, in the advice of every serious long-term investor who has ever been asked how they did it. And most people still do not do it. Not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because the mathematics of getting rich slowly is genuinely, profoundly, almost insultingly boring. And the human brain was not built for boring. The human brain was built for immediate, visible, exciting reward. And this is the opposite of that. This is the story of a mathematical phenomenon so powerful that Albert Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. So reliable that it has worked in every country, every century, every economic environment it has ever been applied in. So available that anyone with a small amount of money and a long enough timeline can access it completely, and so boring that most people never start. Let's start with a question. Would you rather have $1 million today or a single penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Most people, when they hear this for the first time, choose the million. It is immediate, it is certain, it is a number they can picture. The penny doubled every day for 30 days becomes $10,737,418.24. $10 million from 1 cent in 30 days. The math is simple. 1 cent becomes 2. 2 becomes 4. 4 becomes 8. The numbers stay small for so long after 10 days you have only $10.24 that the brain dismisses the whole thing as irrelevant. Then somewhere around day 20, something shifts. Day 20 gives you $5,242.88. Day 25 gives you $167,772.16. Day 28 gives you $1,342,177.28. Day 29 gives you $2,684,354.56. Day 30 gives you $5,368,709.12. And that is just day 30. The final total, including all previous days, is $10,737,418. This is compounding. This is what compounding does when you give it enough time and do not interfere with it. The problem is that real investment returns do not double every day. They grow at something more like 7 to 10% per year for a diversified portfolio over long periods. And 7 to 10% per year does not feel like anything when you first start. It feels like nothing for a long time. It feels like nothing for an embarrassingly long time. And then quietly, it does not feel like nothing anymore. Here's the foundational number you need to understand everything else. The rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return rate, and the result tells you roughly how many years it takes for your money to double. At 6% annual return, your money doubles every 12 years. At 8% annual return, your money doubles every 9 years. At 10% annual return, your money doubles every 7.2 years. These numbers sound slow. They are slow. That is the whole point. But watch what slow doubling does over a long enough period. You invest $10,000 at age 25. It earns 8% per year. You do not touch it. Age 25, $10,000. Age 34, $20,000, 1 doubling. Age 43, $40,000, 2 doublings. Age 52, $80,000, 3 doublings. Age 61, $160,000, 4 doublings. Age 70, $320,000, 5 doublings. One single investment of $10,000 made at 25 becomes $320,000 by 70 without adding a single additional dollar. Not because of spectacular returns, not because of genius stock picking, because of time and an 8% average annual return, something a basic diversified index fund has historically delivered over long periods. Now run the same numbers starting at 35 instead of 25. Age 35, $10,000. Age 44, $20,000. Age 53, $40,000. Age 62, $80,000. Age 71, $160,000. Same investment, same return. 10 years later, the result is half. Not slightly less, half. Those 10 years between 25 and 35, 10 years of doing nothing, of putting it off, of meaning to get around to it cost $160,000. The cost of waiting is not the interest you missed in those 10 years. The cost is every subsequent doubling that did not happen because the starting point was delayed. This is why every serious financial educator says start as early as possible with almost religious intensity. Not because the early years produce spectacular returns, they do not, but because the early years are the foundation of every doubling that follows. Remove them and you remove the base of the entire structure. Now add regular contributions and watch what happens. The standard illustration used by financial educators around the world goes like this. Person A starts investing $200 per month at age 22. They invest for 8 years and then stop completely at age 30. They never add another dollar. They just let it sit and compound at 8% per year until age 65. Total amount invested by Person A, $19,200. Person B starts investing $200 per month at age 30. They invest consistently every single month without stopping until age 65. 35 years of consistent monthly contributions. They are far more disciplined in terms of behavior. They contribute for much longer. They put in much more money. Total amount invested by Person B, $84,000. At age 65, Person A has approximately $602,000. At age 65, Person B has approximately $349,000. Person A invested $19,200 and ended with more than twice what Person B accumulated by investing $84,000. The only difference was 8 years at the beginning. Person B invested 4 times more money and worked at it for more than 4 times as long and still ended with significantly less. Because the 8 years that Person A had and Person B did not were not just 8 years of returns. They were 8 years of foundation for every subsequent compounding cycle. This is the mathematics of getting rich slowly. It is not complicated. It requires no special knowledge, no connections, no luck, no talent. It requires only time and the discipline to start and not stop. Now there is an enemy. The enemy has a name. The enemy is not the market. Markets go up and down, and over long periods, the direction has historically been up in every major economy that has ever developed a functional financial system. The enemy is not inflation. Inflation is real and it is damaging, but a properly invested portfolio in real productive assets has historically outpaced inflation over long periods. The enemy is behavior, specifically the gap between investment returns that are available in theory and investment returns that actual human beings capture in practice. There is a research firm called Dalbar that has been studying this gap for decades. Their findings are consistent and uncomfortable. Over a 20-year period ending in most years they have studied, the stock market index return has significantly outpaced the average return actually captured by individual investors investing in those same markets. The market returned approximately 9.5% per year over a recent 20-year period. The average investor in those markets captured approximately 2.9% per year. The gap is not explained by fees alone. It is explained by behavior. By buying after markets have risen because the rise feels like confirmation that now is the time to invest. By selling after markets have fallen because the fall feels like confirmation that things are getting worse. By switching strategies when the current one stops feeling exciting. By checking balances too frequently and reacting to short-term movements that are completely normal and completely irrelevant to long-term outcomes. The investor who captured 2.9% per year while the market returned 9.5% was not unlucky. They were not in the wrong funds. They were in the right funds, and they kept moving in and out of them at the wrong times. Every time they moved, they paid taxes on gains, paid transaction costs, and reset their compounding clock. The compounding clock is the most valuable thing an investor has. Every time you stop it and restart it, you lose not just the returns of the period you were out of the market. You lose the foundation for every future doubling that would have built on those returns. You need a vehicle. For most people in most countries, this means a low-cost index fund, a fund that simply holds all the companies in a market index rather than trying to pick winners. The evidence for index investing over active stock picking is overwhelming and has been for decades. The majority of actively managed funds underperform their benchmark index over 10-year periods after fees. The fees that active management charges are the certain cost. The outperformance is the uncertain benefit. Over long periods, the certain cost compounds into a very significant drag on returns. You need a timeline. The mathematics only work with time. A 10-year timeline is insufficient for the full power of compounding to operate. A 20-year timeline starts to show the curve. A 30-year timeline is where the numbers become genuinely life-changing on modest monthly contributions. A 40-year timeline produces results that seem impossible until you run them yourself. You need behavior. The willingness to keep contributing through market downturns, through periods when the strategy seems to be failing, through the points at which every instinct says this is not working and there must be a better way. There is almost never a better way. There is almost always just the requirement to continue doing the boring thing. Here is the full picture of what consistent, modest investment over a working lifetime actually produces. $300 per month from age 25 to age 65. 40 years, $3,600 per year. $144,000 total contributed over the full period. At 7% average annual return, $144,000 contributed becomes approximately $798,000. At 8% average annual return, $144,000 contributed becomes approximately $1,006,000. At 9% average annual return, $144,000 contributed becomes approximately $1,274,000. $300 a month. Less than the cost of a modest car payment in most developed countries. Less than many people spend on restaurants, subscriptions, or things they bought and forgot about. Invested consistently for 40 years, it produces between $800,000 and $1.25 million depending on returns. The money contributed is $144,000. The money at the end is between 5 and 9 times that. The difference, the 5 to 9 times multiplier, is compounding. That is what compounding does to modest, consistent investment over long periods. Now run the same numbers starting at 35 instead of 25, 30 years instead of 40. At 8% annual return, $144,000 contributed over 30 years becomes approximately $447,000. Same monthly contribution, same total amount invested, 10 years less time. Half the result. The 10 years between 25 and 35 are worth more than the entire $300,000 saved from 35 to 65 in terms of final outcome. Not marginally more, approximately equally as much. The decade of early compounding is worth as much as 3 subsequent decades of saving. This is the mathematics. This is why it matters when you start. This is what was not told to most people at the age when it would have made the most difference. I want to leave you with one simple thought. Maybe while watching this, you realized something. Not just how compounding works, but how much time has already passed. And that's okay. Starting at 25 is better than starting at 35. Starting at 35 is better than starting at 45. Starting today is better than starting next year. The mistake is not starting late. The mistake is deciding it's too late to start. You cannot go back and invest 10 years ago. Nobody can. The only choice you still control is what happens next. The person who starts with a small amount today is still ahead of the person who never starts at all. Compounding doesn't care when you should have started. It only cares when you do start. So start with whatever you have. Start with whatever you can afford. Start now. Because 10 years from today, you'll either be glad you began or wish you had. Begin.